Welcome in, everyone. This is the full-time roundup show. This is for the team of the week. If you are listening right now, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Go check out me and Harrison's betting podcast, DB's Best Bets, episode 11 that came out yesterday, as well as checking out me and Matt's podcast that we dropped on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts, as well as the non-video version on YouTube. If you're on a streaming platform, go ahead and give us 5-star rating and download the episode. And so I appreciate it. We will be back on Thursday with a bonus episode since we are an international break, but we'll go ahead and get started on this weekend's team of the week. So like I always say, we do a 3-4-3 formation. This is statistically who stood out as well as passed the eye test. So starting in goal, Unai Simon had a penalty save and a clean sheet, for Athletic Bilbao. So he just completely stole the show here. They played, I forgot who they played, honestly. They played Alaves. And starting with the left side of our back line, and Anthony Robinson, the U.S. national, had one of the prettier assists I've seen all season as he assisted Rodrigo Muniz, who's also in this lineup, as Fulham absolutely destroyed Tottenham Hotspur. He also kept a clean sheet, which is a big plus for a defender in the back line. Jacob Ryan is our second defender here, playing for Lyon. Got his first call-up to Ireland as well, so congratulations, Jake. He had the game-winning goal as Lyon beat Toulouse at the gasp, honestly. Third defender is Juan Jesus, the Napoli defender, scored the game-tying goal against Inter in their clash this weekend. You also only let one go by him. In terms of defending, one of the best teams in Serie A, or the best team in Serie A, Inter Milan. With our midfield, Federico Valverde had a hat-trick of assists against Osasuna, absolutely went nuclear, just setting up his teammates left and right. Jakic, the Augsburg midfielder, scored a rare brace in their win against Wolfsburg, which in result ended up sacking Niko Kovac. So Jakic, you're probably responsible for that one. Also, we have Jamal Musiala, or Moose, as I like to call him, one of the best young players in the world right now, scored 2 goals and an assist in their destruction against Darmstadt. He has been Bayern's best player by a country mile and is starting to cook. Bernardo Silva, 2 goals, lucky or not, against Newcastle in the FA Cup for Manchester City. I think he's a debut on this full-time roundup team of the week, so I wanted to add him just because he was pivotable in what Manchester City did. Luis Openda, top of the line, 2 goals against Cologne for RB Leipzig as they ended up destroying Cologne 5-1. And Openda could have had a third, but it was actually called off. But we'll just give him the brace here. Kylian Mbappe leading the line here, a hat-trick and an assist. He went crazy against Montpellier as PSG won 6-2. He just feels like he scores every single game, and he almost had 4 here, but he ended up with a hat-trick and an assist, which is just as good if you're asking me. Rodrigo Muniz, I mentioned the Brazilian a lot this weekend on the podcast. He scored 7 goals in 2024 and had a huge brace as Fulham, like I mentioned before, beat Tottenham 3-0. He is getting hot, so wanted to give him flowers and give his debut on the full-time roundup team of the week. When it comes to player of the week, Victor Gyökeres, he is an animal and the best player in the Portuguese league by far. I mean, this man went from Coventry to the best player in Portugal, an absolute meteoric rise. So I'm excited to see what he does for Sweden this international break, as well as where he is going to go in the summer. He will probably go to the Premier League, but I am just so excited to see him in even better competition and for him to elevate his game. For the young player of the week, Pau Kubarsi, the 17-year-old, 17 for Barcelona, played and started and kept a clean sheet against Atletico Madrid at the Metropolitano. An absolute wild stat. He was also, his compatriot on the left side was another 17-year-old. Barca had two 17-year-olds in their back line and kept a clean sheet. And Paul Kubarsi has been so good for Barcelona that he actually got called up to La Roja at 17 years old. Absolutely wild stuff. Paul, keep balling out, and please stay healthy as you can be the next Piqué and Puyol in this Barcelona team. For the coach of the week, another Barcelona person on the payroll, Xavi. Xavi has gotten a lot of hate, not only from me, but just in general. I think he's a fantastic coach, but he's also, you got to remember, he's been given a really bad, I guess you could say, a bad shake at Barcelona with just all the problems that Barcelona have. But he went out with two 17-year-olds in the back line, threw on Lamine Yamal, threw on Victor Roque, threw on other kids, started Fermin Lopez as well, who's 20 years old, and he absolutely demoralized Simeone's men. He was so pumped up for this game. He got a straight red card in the first half while he was up 2-0. I mean, Xavi is the DNA of Barcelona, and Xavi, please do not stay retired for long because I enjoy you as a coach in the world of football. Well, folks, that is the full-time roundups team of the week for March 15th. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back in two weeks on Tuesday as we are in international break right now. Thank you for tuning in and have a great break.